And welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Ongoing Titles. This time, I'm going to be talking more about some fitness stuff that's been coming up lately. So, on Thanksgiving, if I don't know when y'all are watching it, but at the time recording, Thanksgiving was yesterday. And I decided, you know what? I've been getting into running over the past about year and a half. Yeah, year and a half. And I want to try doing a turkey trot. So I found one. There was a 3 mile, 6 mile, 9 mile. So of course I had to go for the 9 mile. And I gotta say, y'all, running on Thanksgiving, it's both absolutely horrible and absolutely amazing. Horrible because it was, I want to say, 32 degrees when we started the race with extreme winds. So I was cold. It was not a good day to run, but I was like, you know what? I already paid. Can't refund the ticket. Let's go. So that was a bit But then when you get going, it's just the race energy kind of gets into you. And since the longest distance goes out first, starting off in kind of a pretty small group, there was only maybe 15, 20 other people during the 9 miles. And then seeing, okay, they released the 6 milers now. And you see 50 people running, and you know they're all behind where you are. And then a little bit later, you see the 5K, about 3 mile people come out, and it's just so cool how it just builds up more and more, and you start to just pass more and more people as it builds up, and I loved it. And I was making some good time too. Normally, because I do live in the mountains, at about 7,000 feet elevation, give or take, depends on where you're in the valley. There was like 6,800 ish, something. Either way, I live at high elevations. No matter where you go, there's going to be hills. Like, they chose one, in my opinion, is pretty flat, but a lot of people, they're like, damn, that was hilly. I was like, that's hilly? But not the point. Either way. So, it's a high elevation, in running hills. I live up here, that's where I train, and most of the other runners, I think they were the same. But I'm saying that for a specific reason. Because over the 9 miles, I ran about an average of a 8 minute 40 mile. 8 minute 40, or was it 8 minute 49? Either way, it was a good pace for that long of a distance. I completed it in about an hour 19 and some seconds. And it was so fun. And since weren't many people, so you weren't really passing or getting past too much, but there was this one person right behind me the entire race. And I'll be honest, it was probably not the nicest thing, but whenever I knew she was going to try to pass me, because I could hear her cadence pick up. Cadence is steps per minute. I was like, you know what? I always train where I can sprint for a little bit if needed and then go right back to my running pace. So whenever she tried to speed up to pass me, I would do the same until she got burnt out and had to drop back. Then I would go back to my running pace. And I was that kind of evil? Yeah, most definitely. That was not a nice thing to do. But was it keeping me on my toes? Most definitely, because she was keeping pace with me the entire time. And I was trying to stay ahead, so I kept on really making sure my pace was not falling back at all. So I kept on pushing really damn hard the entire time. And towards the end, she ended up running right next to me for a while, and we talked a little bit, and we ended up basically finishing the race together, which was cool. Where it was most of the race, she was trying to pass me, I was just sprinting, trying to stay ahead, and then towards the end, it was we were having a little conversation in between breaths, where it's just oh, you're from up here? Oh, nice, I came up here from here. It's it was just cool. Then, right when we got to the final hill, I always sprint the final hill, so I ended up just bolting forward to the end. And yeah, I loved it. It was fun. And the timing system for placing went down. They could not figure out the times for anyone. And on the bib, there's an electronical thing that essentially just starts and stops your clock. That failed. And so they had people stay around for a while after the race to try to figure out like, okay, hey, who won what and whatnot. And people started leaving. It ended up just being like me and like a few other people left, mostly the 9 milers, just because we ran the longest. And by the time we got back, it was supposed to be the start of the ceremony as is, so it wasn't as long of a wait for us. But after about an hour of that issue, there was only, I said, barely any of us left. And they're like, okay, you know what? If you know your time, just come up here, leave your time, and we'll contact you. If you need to get somewhere, because Thanksgiving, people need to go. So some people do that. I still just wait because it's like, we don't have anything all day. Why not? It's cold as shit, but I just ran in it. I can handle it for a little while. So eventually we got around to the actual reward ceremony and all. Well, ceremony. There was barely anyone left. Everyone left their information and bolted essentially. And I won first place in my age category. So let me quickly specify something. With running, here's what I learned how it all goes down. There's the top 3 overall for a distance. So it'd be the first place overall, second place overall, third place overall. Then it splits everyone else into age brackets and all that. So I didn't come in first place. I came in like 6th overall. But the one other person who was my age came in 3rd overall. Since he placed in overall, he didn't place in his age group because he ran too fast to place in that. So I got first place in my age group. And that's just cool as all hell to me. Like, yeah, it's a fluke. There wasn't that many runners. And they like 2 other people my age. One of them had just barely nicked overall. And the other one was, honestly, I don't even know if there was another one in my age group. But not the point. The point is still, I got first place in my age group. And I'm happy about that. And I finished it's a bit more than 9 miles. It was like 9.5 miles or something. And I finished that in an hour 19 in some seconds, which was my race pace when I was running at sea level in San Francisco for the half marathon. And I ran that at elevation. I mean, it wasn't as far of a distance, I'll be real, but I ran at that pace. I never run at that pace at this high elevation. So I was so proud of that. And they even gave me a little plate. I don't have it on me because we have it out there and I don't want to run back and edit that out. You know how I am with these videos. I try to keep them mostly unedited. On top of all that, we got a little medal. Well, medal, it was like a little wooden thing. They gave it to you before the race, so take that as you will. It was a fun run, and I had fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, then Thanksgiving happened. Not too much to report there. We kind of didn't plan well, to be honest. Like, we had a good Thanksgiving, just. So, here's the thing. I'm vegan. I directly told them, like, hey, if you guys have turkey or something on Thanksgiving, I am not going to be home that day. I just can't stand that. Especially, like if I'm out with friends and they get something real fast, then it's like, I don't like it, but I can manage it. But if it's going to be hours on end, I'm not going to deal with it. So we were planning around that. And I basically was like, okay, yeah, I can easily make all the desserts that you guys want, and I don't mind doing that. For the meats and all that, I was basically just like, hey, Dad, if you want, if I would like you to be more in charge of that, since my mom just wanted stuffing. That was her big thing. For me, I was gonna make the more her dessert stuff, and my dad was just. We were just like, hey, we know you want something more meat-like, and he's already plant-based, so it's not like this massive shift for him. But what ends up happening is, I make a pumpkin pie. He makes an apple pie with me. I end up making this giant plate, cookie plate thing, because I used too much almond milk, and it kind of all spread out. But it was still good. I liked it. It didn't cook all the way through, but I liked it. Not the point though. And then I didn't yesterday, but I'm gonna make it today. Here's some cake cupcakes for them. And yeah, him and my dad, he spent like a while making this stuffing to make it like perfect for my mom, and then it came time and we realized, hey, yeah, we didn't make anything really for my dad outside of what we made just in general for everyone. Like we have tofu, which if you season it and basically if you cook tofu like you cook meat, it's gonna taste pretty damn similar. But we just didn't do that. I also have my tempeh. We just didn't do that. Like by the time it was like, okay, let's eat. It's like, oh shit, we forgot something here, didn't we? And we realized we didn't really plan it out at all for that. I mean, he still had a good day. We all had a good time. But we definitely need to do better planning next time. And yeah, that was basically my Thanksgiving. I had a lot of fun, and honestly, I might just do another recording after this and post like 2 videos. Not sure if same day, different day, we'll see. Because I do have more stuff I want to talk about, like some upcoming things. I going to the gym for the first time today. Well, first time as in like first time in years. And stuff like that, which I want to separate into something else because this turned out to be a Thanksgiving themed video. So there we go. It's a pretty short, only about 11 minutes, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope you had a great time. And as always, see y'all next video.